And a couple of years later, you moved to Georgia.
Right.
Okay. And you actually grew up, pretty poor in Georgia.
Real poor. 3-mule farm and boll weevils.
Okay. And because you were primarily with your grandparents at that point, or?
No, I live with my mother and father and my grandmother and 7 brothers and sisters.
Okay. And your grandfather, I guess, was convicted of murder at one point?
Yes.
What happened there?
He was a school teacher, and I understand that he had some trouble with one of the young men in the class, and hit him in the head with some stove wood. And I think the guy was 20 years old. They just go to school a little bit in the wintertime, these people would. And so they took him to court. And he got up, the man Woods got up and told his side of the story. And my grandpa got up to tell his side of the story. And Woods jumped up and pointed the finger at him and said, "You're a goddamn liar." And he pulled out a .38 pistol that I still have and shot him twice right through the heart. And the bullets went all the way through him, and you can still see where they're in the door in McRae, Georgia from 1917.
He actually killed
a man
in court
during the trial, and he laid the gun up on the judge's desk, and the judge said, "Reaves, I believe you have killed him." And he said, "I hope to hell he's dead."
Okay. I assume that he got life in prison for that?
Yes, he did, and they operated on his eyes back then for cataracts and blinded him, and the governor pardoned him.
So he got out at one point.
So he got out of it, yeah.
Okay. Well, then at one point you leave Georgia and you go to New York City.
Yes.
Okay. You get married in 1964.
Right.
And then in 1966, that's when your love of flying started to really develop?
Yes, I was flying. I think that I believe I got my pilot's license in 64. I have a copy of it. But I was learning to fly at that time because I wanted to be a missionary aviation fellowship pilot to fly the missionaries in and out of the jungle and the sick people.
Okay.
But that story unfolds a little later on. And
okay. And you had a farm around that time?
I was farming all my life, yes, until then. Yes.
Okay. And you were actually making moonshine during that era.
What happened was my daddy died when we was all young, and my baby sister was just 6 months old, and my mother mortgaged a farm, and we put in a bunch of chickens. We put in 36,000 chickens, and the price of feed kept going up, and the price of eggs kept coming down until we were going to lose the farm. So I started making moonshine whiskey, and I was making 1,000 gallons a week there to pay that thing off. And it worked real well for about a year.
Okay. Then the feds found out about it.
Yeah, somebody turned it in.
And then what did they do?
Well, it actually blew up. The butane bottles got knocked over in one another, and it was like World War II down there with flamethrowers.
Okay. Did the feds actually blow it up, or?
No, it blew itself up. And then they blew the vats up.
Okay.
And I run and got shot at. They shoot to kill you.
Did you ever get busted for that?
No, there was, I understand that there was indictment for me, but the grand jury did not indict me. So they were voted 12-12.
So you got lucky.
Yeah. Well, I was down at the courthouse, at the soda fountain, and I was talking to him, telling him who I was. And so the lawyer came and he grabbed me by the arm, took me around the corner. He said, "Boy, get out of here. You get more trouble from tampering with the grand jury than you ever will for that moonshine."
Okay. So then you end up moving to California.
Yes.
In 68. Then in 1970, you joined the fire department in Redondo Beach.
Yes.
And was it around that time that you actually bought a partial airplane?
Yes, that was just about that time, yes, if not before.
Okay. So you bought a third ownership of a Cessna 150.
That's right.
And at that point, you actually learned how to fly?
I already have my license, but I built up my hours.
So once you started doing that, but you're still working for the fire department at the time.
Yes.
So at what point did you start looking at other ways to actually make money with this plane?
Well, it kind of happened almost just like a river running into something. It was just smooth. I was hustling. I was buying and selling antiques and knocking on doors down in Los Angeles and have my little trucks and selling antiques. And I'd go back to Missouri and buy a load of antiques in Missouri because the the settlers come into California and the West Coast, they'd come on the trains with a lot of furniture and